Okay. I think it's finally time we seriously talk about AEW on the PWC channel. Because if I'm being honest, I've mentioned AEW maybe once or twice, and that's gotta stop. Now, before people start throwing steel chairs at me in the comments, no, this is not AEW good, WWE bad. That tribal nonsense is exhausting. This is wrestling history, and whether people like it or not, AEW changed wrestling. Now, let's go back for a second. In the 90s, wrestling was war. You had WWE, WCW, ECW. Three completely different monsters. WCW had the money, ECW had the violence, WWE had the storytelling. And honestly, fans were spoiled. Monday nights felt dangerous. You genuinely didn't know what madness you were about to witness. Then, by the early 2000s, WCW died, ECW died, and WWE became the sole survivor. Now, yes, there were still wrestling companies around the world, but let's be brutally honest. None of them truly felt like they could touch WWE at that level. People tried recreating ECW. Some promotions tried capturing WCW magic. Then came TNA Wrestling. And honestly, TNA deserves massive respect. That company gave us a Jay Styles, Samoa Joe, Beer Money, Motor City Machine Guns, Kurt Angle's insane run, The Beautiful People, Abyss, Sting returning to national TV. TNA had moments where you sat there thinking, wait a minute, these guys are cooking. But despite all that, WWE still felt untouchable, like Thanos with a championship belt. Then 2019 happened, and wrestling fans suddenly felt something they hadn't felt in years. Hope, excitement, competition. AEW officially launched on May 25, 2019 with Double or Nothing in Las Vegas. And brother, that show didn't feel like just another wrestling PPV. It felt like a movement. Fans wanted this to work, and you could feel it. Now, let's talk about Tony Khan for a second, because whether you love him, hate him, or think the man drinks 10 energy drinks before every media scrum, you cannot deny one thing. Tony Khan loves wrestling. And honestly, that matters. The man isn't some random businessman pretending to understand wrestling because he watched 2 WrestleManias and bought a Hulk Hogan t-shirt. Tony Khan is a genuine wrestling historian. The guy talks about old Japanese matches, WCW history, ECW tapes, and obscure wrestling moments like a fan sitting in the front row at Starrcade 1997. And I genuinely believe early AEW succeeded because fans could feel that passion. Now, yes, Tony Khan gets criticized, sometimes fairly. People say too many matches, not enough structure, chaos backstage, stories disappear, everybody bleeds every Wednesday. And honestly, sometimes AEW does feel like somebody unlocked universe mode on WWE 2K and forgot to sleep. But when AEW gets it right, brother, it feels special. Now, let's talk about Double or Nothing 2019. That PPV was magic. Straight away, Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. Massive main event. Jericho wins and earns the right to challenge for the inaugural AEW World Championship. And honestly, Jericho choosing AEW shocked wrestling. Because Chris Jericho wasn't washed. He wasn't finished. The man jumped from WWE while still relevant. That was huge. But the match everybody truly remembers emotionally? Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes. Brother versus brother. Blood everywhere. Emotion everywhere. Tears everywhere. This wasn't just wrestling. This felt real. And honestly, WWE completely missed the boat with the Rhodes brothers. That match screamed WrestleMania. Imagine Dusty Rhodes watching his sons create that moment. You know he would have been emotional, especially when Cody hugged Dustin afterwards. "I don't need a partner. I need my older brother." Man, that line still hits wrestling fans in the soul. And Dustin? That wasn't just a wrestling comeback. That was redemption. Because for years, people overlooked Goldust. But that night, Dustin Rhodes reminded the world, I can still go. Then we had the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers. And honestly, I nearly needed medical assistance watching that match. These men were flying around the ring like gravity personally offended them. Super kicks, dives, counters, chaos. At one point, I genuinely thought somebody's spine is about to leave their body. No, seriously, the Young Bucks and Lucha Bros created absolute madness. Then we had Britt Baker winning the women's four-way match. Now, personally, I've never fully connected with Britt Baker the same way some fans have. But you could already see AEW trying to build future stars. Then came Hangman Adam Page winning the Casino Battle Royale. And honestly, nobody realized back then just how important Hangman would eventually become to AEW emotionally. That cowboy storyline later became one of AEW's greatest stories. Then, the moment happened. Jon Moxley appeared. And when Mox